What's up, everybody, and welcome back to our channel. And if you're new here, please click that like and subscribe down at the bottom of the screen. And don't forget to hit that bell notification. This way you get notified every time I upload a video. Today's project we're working on is we have a CVO road glide here. We're going to be putting handlebars on it for them. Yep, it's a beautiful CVO road glide. It's a little older than what is available today. And I'm going to go through and show you, what you need to do to actually replace the handlebars. I'm sure everybody saw my video on how to internal wire handlebars. If you haven't, I will link that down in the description. Also, behind me I have a trike. 2004 trike that I got to do some work on that. It's got a few issues. The passing lights, the headlight doesn't come on. Will not go into reverse. It is not a factory reverse. It's not an electric reverse. It's a mechanical reverse. So I got to take a look and see what's going on there and see and how I can make it go into reverse. Also, I'm working on my road glide. Stay tuned for that. That's going to be a much anticipated video. I'm going to be installing Dakota digital gauges. Yep, that's it. I spent the money. Wasn't cheap, but I like them, and I'll be doing a video on how to replace your gauges, how to open up the fairing and stuff. So we'll see what's going on there, and we'll get that done as well. Also, hey, I'd like to welcome our new sponsors. Let's welcome Yankee Harley Davidson and Cape Cod Harley Davidson as channel sponsors. If you're looking for a new bike or you need some parts or a used bike, they have a huge selection. Saturday, I will be out doing a video at Yankee Harley Davidson interviewing Mike Keenan. So you'll be seeing this video afterwards, so I'm not going to get too much into it. So hey, without any further ado, let's dig into this. Alright, so the first thing we need to do is we need to remove our seat. And the reason why we have to do that is we are going to be disconnecting the negative ground cable. And the reason being to have that all disconnected is so when you unplug the tack and the throttle and your hand controls, you won't get an engine code. A lot of people end up getting codes because they skip this step because they believe it's not necessary, and they end up calling me, hey, how do I reset my code? Can you help me? And I'm more than happy to help them, but I mean, if you're going to do your own handlebars, definitely should be able to reset your codes. Alright, the seat is off. We have access to the battery. So let me get my 10mm socket and ratchet and we'll get this done. Okay, the first thing you want to do is you want to remove the ECU, your engine control unit, out of the way so you have a lot easier access to get to your negative battery terminal. And what you need is a 10mm socket extension and a ratchet. And all we're going to do is disconnect the negative side, not the positive, but just the negative. So we'll take that screw out and we'll... Okay, so what we want to do here is you're going to take your ignition lock, turn it to the lock position. Inside of here there's a little tab that you need to push up. Put your key in. You're going to push down and turn the key past that lock position. The key's going to stay trapped. Now if you look, here's that little tab I was telling you about. So you got to be careful. If you're not doing this on a lift, you have to be careful because now that this is in the lock position, what could happen is the forks could lock. And do not, and I beg you, please do not try and spin the internals around with a screwdriver. You will put everything out of sequence and they will not function properly. There is a tool to realign everything, and if you don't have it and you plan on playing in there with a screwdriver, then get that tool. But if you don't, go ahead and don't buy that tool. So I removed the nut here from the top, and now the printed plate. So when I remove the gauge cluster half, which will expose our wires underneath and the riser clamp, you will see that it's all right there. It's easy to do. So let me put this stuff down. Let me get my T25 handle screwdriver, because there's a screw here and a screw here. And this piece will lift right off, and there's one wire to the back of these gauges that you have to just get off. And I'll show you that too. Okay, I got our screws out on either side here. So you're just going to lift this up like this. And inside of here, you're going to see a whole bunch of wires. So we want to start disconnecting and unplugging them. This is why we unplug the battery, so we don't trip any codes like I said. And to help make this job a little bit easier for you, what you want to do is get yourself a small screwdriver just to get those ears up out of the way, and you can just unplug them. That simple. Now be very careful that you don't scratch this bezel while you're doing it. Alright, so there you go. Not scratched or anything. So I'm just going to move it out of the way. And I have access to 2 of my riser bolts, and I have to get access to the others. So let me get back to you and we'll work on that together. Okay, after some further investigation, I have to take the front of the fairing off. There are 8 screws to it, and just so I could get to the wires to unplug them, which would be the throttle wire and your hand controls wires. Alright, so let me get the screws off, and I'll point them out where they are. So you got 3 across the front, actually 5 across the front. You got 2 on this side where my hands are, actually a little further down, and then 2 on the other side. So they're all T25 except for the windshield. Those are Phillips. So let me get these going, and we'll get this front fairing off, and we'll get going on with this. Okay, I repositioned the camera so everybody can see what I'm doing now on the front of the fairing. What we have here, we have our right hand control, our left hand control, and then our throttle. And all of this goes up underneath here on the throttle side, which would be your right side. And this here will get connected to its counterpart. Same thing with the throttle. So we'll bring this up, over, and around. And the throttle comes up. We get plugged in here, just like that. Now I'm going to go over to the left side. I'm going to feed this wire up and into the cradle where it needs to be. Fish this back around the inside the way it was. and then reconnect that. So now what we have left here is I have to put all these wires back in here to these wire chases. That's on the inside of this fairing. And that's it. And I got to do some zip tying up here. I'm going to zip tie some pieces here, these wires over here, just to make it nice and neat and out of the way. So let's grab some nice long zip ties. Here's one. We're going to do this one. Alrighty. Again, all this is doing is to tie everything up nice and neat. I always believe in making all your wire bundles neat and clean when you're done. So when somebody else comes in here, they look at it and don't go, oh my God, what the hell happened? So now all we got left here is our headlight connection. We'll get that done. Always, again, using the foam to protect our paint, our painted surfaces, because these aren't cheap. Okay, I got to replace these speakers. These are easy to do while you're here. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, plus one connection on either side. So let me get that done and tidy up some things I got going on over here. All right. Stay tuned. Okay, I got the fairing off. I also, to get the fairing off, you need to take off the turn signals, just 2 1/2-inch nuts on the inside of the inner fairing at the bottom by your front turn signals to remove those. Once those are removed, you just pick up and slide the fairing right out. Once that's done, to unplug the wiring harness from the handlebars on up to the 13 models, there are 3 connections. You got your right hand controls, your left hand controls, and then your throttle. So there's only 3 things you need to disconnect. Also, you need to disconnect your headlight. Now make sure you know which one's which. Okay, when I took these off, this here was facing to the throttle side, the right side of the bike. So when I put this back together, I know that they're going to be set up correctly. Now moving forward with the handlebars, I also got the speakers to replace, which are right here. Easy access to get to it with this fairing removed. Now, I only have access to 2 of the 4 bolts for the risers, and let me reposition the camera and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Yes, so as you can see, I got the wiring bundles here. There is also a small 2-wire connection for the heated grips that you don't need because he doesn't have heated grips, but we're going to leave that there. Now if you can see here, I got 1, 2 bolts for the risers. The other 2 are back here. Now to get to those, I need to loosen up the triple tree trim cover to make that happen. And I will definitely do that. We will make it happen. It's getting a little late in the evening, but we'll get this all apart tonight. And then tomorrow night, when I get home from work, I'll work on reassembly. So you'll see this all in one video, but it's going to take me a couple nights. It's usually about a 3-hour job to do. So let me get going and get this done. Okay, I got access to my other 2 bolts, and now what we got to do is take off our switch housings, our clutch lever, our brake lever, and then from there we can remove the handlebars. this is a little bit of a process, but as you can see, it isn't that hard. All you got to do is just take your time, think about what you're doing, or you could just watch this video and do it yourself. Or you can always reach out to me, give me a call, and say, hey, I'm looking to get this done. Can you do it? And I'll tell you yes or no. And okay, these are T27. These other two are T25. The bolts on the sides for that cover are T40. And the bolts for your riser clamp, there's 4 of them, they're T40 as well. And if you notice, I don't let go of anything. I keep it all together, and then I put it back together. This way, nothing gets lost, nothing gets damaged or misplaced. And I could tell you that is like one of the biggest things that happen in any shop is, you heard me say it before, get yourself organized and, you know, just do what you got to do. All right, so the grip's off on the left side. As you can see, that's off. And we're going to wait, you know, put those on until we're ready for the bars. But now we're going to do the brake side. Now the one thing you got to worry about when you do the brake side, especially with reassembly, inside of here there is a switch for your rear brake light switch. And I've seen it time and time again where people will break them and now they're screwed, because once they're broken, the brake light stays on. And it's over there now. Alright, so we got the brake off. I got that screw. Get the other screw going. Alright, that one's out. We'll put that aside with the grip so it's nice and safe. Because that's the important thing, is that they're safe. All right. So now we're ready to take the handlebars actually off the motorcycle. And one of the big things I want you to be careful of when you're doing this is your gas tank. All right? Put something over your gas tank to protect it. I got some foam pads that are left over from other things that got shipped here. But this way, there's something protecting your paint. And the same thing when you take that front fairing off, you want to, let me move this camera so you can see what's going on. You want to protect the paint. I've seen it too many times. People don't protect the paint. And yes, I did it on my own bike many years ago, where it fell down and hit the tank. All right. We got the riser clamp and we got the handlebars. All coming off of one big happy assembly. All right, everyone. This is as far as I'm going tonight. I still got a shower. I already had dinner. I got a shower and I want to, you know, relax. you know, which is no big surprise. Everybody wants to relax and spend some time with the wife. And then tomorrow will be a whole nother day getting back at this. So I'll remove that because I don't need it. And as of right now, this job is half done. So hang tough. Alright crew, I got the outer fairing back on. It's not that hard. For your gauge collection, or the cowling, the inner cowling for your gauge collection, when you have to remove your gauges and get to the top of your riser clamp, the back bolt, you got to unbolt that from your triple trees. Easy way to do it on the lift is I have a T40 nut bit here, and I have a 1/4 inch drive ratcheting wrench. That's an easy way to get them on and off. Now the last thing I got left to do is I got to put the windscreen on, or windshield, and reconnect the battery. So let's go ahead and do that together. So I got the windshield. We got some new hardware and the rubber stop. Alright guys, I thought I was filming while I was finishing up this bike, putting the outer fairing back together, getting the windshield on there with the new grommets and hardware on this 13 CVO or Screaming Eagle, depending on what you want to call it. It's all back together. The bars are done. I adjusted his push rods. I'd like to go back and redo it and refilm this, but that's a lot of work to take this thing back apart, and I'm not going to do it. Alright guys, the handlebars are done on this, and we are moving along. Alright, if you guys like this video and you want to see more content like this, you gotta give me a like and subscribe. Also, leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you like this content, or do you like the content that's coming out tomorrow, the interview with Mike Keenan from Yankee Harley Davidson, and also Cape Cod Harley, again, channel sponsors. Give them some love, guys. If you need any bikes or parts or cleaning supplies or Harley Davidson clothing, go ahead, give them a call. They'll help you out. They're good people. Show them some love. And that's all that I have for today. Hey, and thanks for watching. Live the best life you can. Ride hard and ride often.